What's up guys, DSR here with another video tutorial, and today I'm going to be covering something that is probably a very rare problem for most people, but I ran into this problem, and so I'm sure there are people out there that will also run into this issue, and I couldn't really find anything online, a guide or anything to how to do this, so I thought I'd record how I'm doing it. So basically what my problem is this is a Fujimi kit. It's this one right here. The Impreza WRX Type R 2-door that I'm doing some major modification to, and I bought these C1 models wheels, these RWB tarmac wheels, and the problem is I didn't think to ask what kind of fitment it has, which it has a male peg type fitment like Tamiya kits do. The issue being that this is a Fujimi kit, and like most Fujimi and Aoshima kits, it uses this kind of wheel, which is a female wheel, where the polycap actually sticks into the back of the wheel rather than the other way around, and then the peg sticks into it through the brake disc. So the problem being, you can't stick a peg onto a peg and make them fit. My initial idea was to sacrifice those wheels for the female fitment, and basically just chop them all to heck and then glue them in here. But the problem with that being, you're not 100% guaranteed to be getting it straight, or to be right in the center, and that could be a big problem for wheels if all four of them are sitting at different heights or positions. So what my solution was to use some parts that I had laying around. This is a Tamiya add-on kit for an R34. I think it's like the Nismo package for the R34 Skyline, and it basically is an upgrade pack. It comes with the brake discs, a bunch of accessories, and a set of wheels, which you can see are standard Tamiya type wheels with the peg, which these brake discs are made for. And since I had these laying around, and I also had some leftover parts from a Fujimi wheel kit, I'm not sure exactly what kit. A lot of them come with these identical parts. Sometimes they're gray, sometimes they're molded in flat silver, but it comes with a good majority of Fujimi wheels. I don't have a comprehensive list of all the ones that I bought that those came with, but a lot of them do, and so that's where those parts came from. And what I did was I took the original suspension for this kit. I chopped off the connector peg, which was just a little piece of black plastic there. And let me see if I can get this to focus so we can see what we're talking about here. Come on. There we go. And then I sanded it flat. Then I took this brake disc, and what I did essentially was, you can see on the back of here that it's got those slits. And the problem being is that the polycap is shallower than that, and it ends pretty much right where the slit it bottoms out. So I took my side cutters and I trimmed around with the polycap in it so that it was flat, because if the polycap is loose and has wiggle room, then your wheel is going to have wiggle room side to side once it's all mounted. And so I trimmed that out. Then I glued it to the front face. That way I made these spacers, since these C1 wheels don't actually have what these wheels do, which is a little lip behind the face of the wheel to space it away from the brake disc. I just made that little spacer, and so it's pretty much flush with the brake disc, as you can see. That way it's not sitting at a weird angle, because it was when I first mocked it up, because it was going flat to this flush brake disc on the front, which you can see there, that it's not even. And so that solved the problem with it not sitting flat. And then I took those spacers from the Fujimi wheels, and I just put a bead of glue all the way around the interior right there, and so it's only really connected to the outside of the where the polycap is sitting, so it's not touching the polycap, so I know the polycap isn't going to be glued in place when I'm all said and done, so the wheels will still spin. And what that did was space the whole brake disc away from the suspension. Two reasons for that. One, because, well, this was necessary to have the polycap in there and still have it spin. I'm sure there are other ways of doing it, but this was the best way I could figure out. And the second reason being is because this is going to have over fenders, and I wanted the wheels stanced out farther from the fenders. And so that also took care of that problem. And so I'm pretty sure when I had it mocked up, it sat pretty much about that far out of the fenders. Not a ridiculous amount, but enough to justify having over fenders on it, which is perfect. That's exactly what I was going for. And this solution, whoops, pretty much worked perfect. So if you have this problem like I do and you're trying to fit either aftermarket resin wheels or a set of Tamiya wheels that don't come in an Aoshima or Fujimi kit or, you know, add-on, then if you have some parts laying around similar to these, you could probably pull off the same mods that I did. And again, that's brake discs from a Tamiya add-on set for the R34. I think it's the Nismo add-on because that's what the decals are, which is why I bought it. And some parts, you know, left over from Fujimi wheels, or basically anything that has like a spacer was the main point. So yeah, I know ELP Modeling has a video on essentially how to do the opposite of this, how to adapt an Aoshima or Fujimi wheel to a Tamiya kit, but I could not find anything online about how to do the opposite and adapt that kind of wheel to an Aoshima or Fujimi kit. So I hope this is helpful. I know this is kind of a rare problem. Most times people are not trying to fit Tamiya or male type wheels to an Aoshima or a Fujimi kit because there's such a selection of wheels out there for them. But it's an issue I ran into, and hopefully this is helpful to you if you also run into this issue. So thanks for watching. See you next time.